Hey guys, so I want to do a video today that gets into the theory of modes a little bit. And this is basically the information that I have that helped me have a better understanding of how the modes work. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the intervals. And we're going to do it on the B string, and we're going to do it all the way down on the B string. This is going to be on one string. And that's going to help you to have a better understanding of the intervals. Because when you're navigating the fretboard, and let's say you just play G major, you could do the rest of it vertically, but what if you wanted to go further down? Well, if you know the intervals, it's easier to get down there. Same thing with all of the modes. So now normally, if we were doing C major, that's all natural notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root. If we were going to do the next mode, we would start on the second note. And we would do the same notes. So basically what a mode is if you play C major, the modes within C major are the exact same notes, but you're starting on a different note. So C major is C to C. The next mode would be D Dorian, and it's those same notes, but you're starting on D. And then the next mode, and so on and so forth with the next note. So the very first one, C major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root. The second mode is D Dorian, and the intervals are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, root, back to D. And if you just want to do the shapes, it's this shape here. Same shape here. So that's D Dorian. The next one, the next mode of C major is E Phrygian, and that is going to be 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, root. So that one's just like this one, except the only difference is the second is it's a flat 2 instead of the 3. Or instead of 2, it's here, it's a flat 2. And the second is the same as it was in the one before. So the other one was, and this one is, so it's almost the same with except for one note. So again, 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, root. Okay, so that is E Phrygian. The next one is going to be F Lydian. And it's going to be, it only has one difference, and that is 1, 2, 3, sharp 4. So major would be Lydian is a sharp 4. So instead of, it's so again, 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7, root. And that is, what do we say? That's F Lydian. The next one is going to be G Mixolydian. And Mixolydian also is just one different from a major scale, and that is the flat 7. So it's the same as this is major, but Mixolydian is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, root. Wait, sorry. 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, root. So that's G Mixolydian. The next one is going to be A Aeolian, which is minor, basically. So that's going to be 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, root. So again, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, root. And remember, if you're just wanting to go by the shapes, it's those two shapes. And then just a whole step there. Okay, so the next one is going to be B Phrygian. Now I'm going to have to bring this one back up to here because there's not enough room to go all the way. So we're going to pretend right now that this note is this note. And that one is going to be, the intervals are 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, root. So there's everything is flat except for the root and the 4. So 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, root. Now remember, when I say flat, that or sharp, that means compared to the major intervals, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root. So you really have to get that major shape down for the intervals to make sense. So again, Phrygian, they would be here in relation to C major, but we're pretending that this is this. So this is B Phrygian, and it's 1, flat, see it's the same shapes too. So 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, root. So with that being said, and then of course after that you would be back to C, which is that's the parent scale of all those modes I just showed. Because as I said, this is C major, and each of those modes are the same notes, you're just starting on a different point. So if we were up here in G major, that's the key of G major. The first mode of G major, or the second mode, would be A Dorian. And then the second mode would be, so that if that was A Dorian, it would be B Phrygian. But now what I want to show you is something that's really useful, and this is going to be an exercise that you can do that will really help you to memorize the positions of each mode. So I like to think of them as positions. So if this is going to be based on the key of G major, and the chords are going to be G major 7th. This is all based out of this G major. So the first chord is G major 7th. The second chord is A minor 7th. The third is B minor 7th. The fourth is C major 7th. The fifth is the dominant 7, dominant chord, and that is going to be, what did I say, A, B, C, D. So D7, and then E minor 7th, and then rather than doing the shape here, F sharp, I'm going to come up here and do it. And it's the diminished chord. And then back to G major 7th. So the exercise is going to go like this. So for those of you that know the shape of G major, that's the first mode. That's Ionian. So then we're going to A, and this is going to be A Dorian. So 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 5. Now here's the cool thing about modes. Even you know, with the major, every one of these shapes are going to have a couple of things in common, and that is the shapes. So this one, the first string is this shape. Your first finger, third finger, fourth finger. Then underneath that, just 2 notes, 5 and 7. And then it starts on this. First finger, second finger, fourth finger. First finger, second finger, fourth finger. First finger, third finger, fourth finger. And that's the last note, but if you kept going, it would be first, third, fourth. Now the thing that's so useful about this is all those shapes repeat over and over again. So you've got 2 of these, and every time you play 2 of those together, you know the next 2 strings are going to be this. And then after those 2 like this, it's always going to be one of the, so up here, so there's 1, 2, this string's the same, these are both E's, so this is that second one you're doing, that's the same one, so that's the second one. After it, it's just the 2 notes, and then after the 2 notes, it's always that, and after those 2, it's always this. But you have to remember that if the second one of these is on this bottom string, the top string is going to be the same, and it's going to count as the same one. So if you did this up here, that's not the third one, that's just the second one, because these 2 are the same strings. So if that's the second one, you know this is next. Just the 2 notes, the whole step apart. It's 2 of those, 2 of those. And it's like that for every shape. Same with major. There's the 2 notes, and then underneath, 2 of these, and then 2 of these. Now we're going to a string that's tuned differently, so now we have to come down a fret. Two of these, 2 of these, and then 1 of these. Because remember, after 2 of these, it's always the 1, the whole step apart. So that's G major. And then back to A Dorian. So 5, 7. I already showed you, so I'm just going to play it. Okay, so the next one is going to be B Phrygian. Okay, so if you know the first 2 strings, then you know there's 2 of these always. So the next one is obviously that. And what do we know after that? It's just the 1. And then after that, it's always this shape. So So 7, 8, 9, 7, or I'm sorry, 7, 8, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 7, 8, 10, 7. And then if you continued, it would be it'd be that same one, 7, 8, 10, because there's always two of those together. And then okay, so that is B Phrygian. The next one is going to be C Lydian. Now Lydian is the same, you're going to be using some of the same notes that you used in Phrygian. So if Phrygian started here and it was, well, if you're doing Lydian, if you're doing C Lydian, it's going to start on this note. It's going to be the same exact notes, but just starting on a different note. So that one is going to be 8, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, and then if you kept going, 10. Okay, so the next mode is going to be Mixolydian, and it's going to be similar to this one, except you're going to go, so it's that shape on the second string. So that's going to be 10, 12, so 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 9, 11, 12, and then 10, 12, 13, 10. Okay, so the next one is going to be E Aeolian, and this is basically just your natural minor. So two of those, one of these, because every time there's two of these, that comes after. And after that, of course, we know the next one is two of those, or sorry, so 12, 14, 15, 12, 14, 15, 12, 14, 11, 12, 14, 12, 13, 15, 12, 14, 15. But you're starting here. Sorry if that was confusing. So it starts on this note, so it goes. But if you kept going, so that's E Aeolian, and then the last one is going to be F sharp Locrian, and instead of doing it here, we're going to go back up to the same note here, and this one is going to start on two of these, and we know after two of those there's two of those, and then after there's two of those, it's always one of those, and after one of those, it always goes back to that. So we're going 2, 3, 5, 2, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5. Well, I did the same mistake there. It ends there, so it doesn't keep going to, so it's, and then back to G major. Shoot. So that's all the modes in shapes, okay? And each one is going to start on a different note of the G major scale. So if you learn the G major scale all the way across this string, each one, G starts there, A starts there, B starts there, C starts there, D starts there, A starts there, F sharp starts there, and then back to G. So that's where each of your shapes are at. So the next useful thing you can do is you can do the arpeggios of each one of those. So I'm going to start on G. I'm just going to go through it. And then for this one, I'm going to come back up to here because it's easier. And then back to G. So you can do, that's a good exercise to have, is to do the scale first. Then Dorian. Then Phrygian. And then Lydian. And Mixolydian. I messed that one up. Then Aeolian. And then we're going to do this one. That's harder to do. I'm going to do it here. Sorry. See, I'm not perfect either. We all make mistakes. And then back to G. So if you can learn those, and all you're doing for all the arpeggios is 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. So let me show you that as well. So G major is going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. Okay, and then Dorian is going to be 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. So 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, 1. Phrygian is going to be 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, 1. Then Lydian is going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, same as major. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. Then Mixolydian is going to be 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. So it's the same as major, except for the 7. It's not. It's this one's major, the same major shape. 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. Then the next one is Aeolian. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, 1. Now the diminished, the Locrian is a little different. It's going to be, we're going to bring it back up here. It's going to be 1, flat 3. Let's see, how would I phrase that? 1, okay, sorry. It's 1, 3, flat 5, flat 7, root. So 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, 1. So it's actually, it's not a flat 5, it's a diminished. So if I was doing minor, it would be the same as minor, but you're flattening the third, so, or the fifth. 1, 3, that would be that's minor, and then diminished is flat 5, flat 7. And when you see me going down, I'm just repeating that. See, I'm already met. It's just repeating. Same with major. 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. 3, 5, 5, 7, 1. One, flat 3, 5, flat 7, 1. And then it's repeating. Same thing here. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, 1. Flat 3, 5, flat 7, 1. One, 3, 5, 7, 1. 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. So it's just those same 3 notes repeated. So that's going to be your exercise. You're basically just going to but you're going to go all the way through instead of, I'm just doing the top. So you'd go so yeah, sorry if this was, this is a longer video. It's a lot of information to get out, really. But if you can take what I'm doing here and you can figure out without the tabs what I'm playing, I tried my best to tell you what each note was and what the shapes are and like how to memorize what shape comes after what. But if you could take that information and get to a point where you can play at 1 note per string, and you could do it vertically, and you can arpeggiate it, then you're going to be in a lot better place, and you're going to have more of an understanding that the modes are basically a major scale. So G major, G to G, the first mode, you're starting on the second note, and it's going to be the next note after G is A, so it's A to A, and it's Dorian. And then so on and so forth. The next one's Phrygian. Then the next one is the next one is Lydian. See, that's the same as up here, the same shape. So it's those same shapes repeat, no matter where you do them at. So it's the same thing no matter where you play it at. And a lot of these modal shapes are the same as, like, so Phrygian is here, Lydian's here. It's the same notes, but you're just starting on the different one. So if you can understand that, you'll be in a lot better place as it relates to modes. Appreciate it, and have a good one.